Hey folks, it's Lauren from Snowy's here with the Supa Peg Outbound Shield 6 awning. I'm going to show you how to set it up and pack it away.
Hit it.
This awning can easily be set up by one person. Its amazing freestanding design means you don't have to hassle with poles, plus the storage bag is super roomy, so pack up is hassle-free. Hold up, to make sure you don't miss any of our awesome content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get back to it. It's a glorious day up here at a national park in the Adelaide Hills, and I am here with my van and Supa Peg Outbound awning that I've had for a couple of weeks now, and I absolutely love it. So today I'm going to show you how to set it up and pack it away. If you want a bit more information and details on the features, don't forget to check out that features video. So with the awning, you actually get a nice heavy duty, quite sturdy Velcro storage bag here with a couple of odds and ends like your key head pegs, which are Supa Peg's boss peg in my opinion. We've also got a couple of tray springs and guy ropes. We've got some ratchet straps here, and we've got some heavy duty webbing tie down straps, which I'll show you a bit more of in a minute. And I also just want to touch on the instruction manual that Supa Peg have done up here. Some other brands won't really give you much information at all, whereas Supa Peg have gone an extra mile and produced a really awesome booklet. It basically gives you all the information that you'll need, and you probably won't have many questions left over after this at all. The other thing that we've got with us today is my trusty step ladder. So I am a bit of a shorty pants, and given the height of the van, the awning is quite tall. When I'm away and there's two of us, set up and install is a matter of 5 minutes, and we don't need to use the ladder. But I'm going to run you through this a little bit more slowly today and in a bit of detail, so my ladder will come in handy. The awning itself weighs 38 kilos and measures 2.7 or 270 centimeters long when it's packed up on the van. So we're going to unzip the storage bag here. Now, once we've unzipped the cover completely, we're going to want to fold the bag over the back of the awning properly, all the way over. Just take care to make sure it's hinging at that right point and it's tucking right in behind the awning properly. So from this point, we've got 4 Velcro anchor points along, and we're just going to release those. They're through this D-loop at the bottom here, so you're going to pull them right the way through. And we're going to do the other 2. So as you're releasing your last bit of Velcro, your canvas is going to fall down and your poles are probably going to start to swing out as well. Just want to make a point of mentioning that it's completely fine. The awning is totally freestanding and self-supporting. So in this entire setup, if you need to take your time, or you don't have your ratchet strap on hand straight away, or the awning just has to sit there, there's absolutely no problem with that at all. So from this point here now, I'm going to grab the first of my ratchet straps. They have a hook on both ends with your little pulley ratchet here. Now this ratchet strap is going to, the hook on the ratchet end is going to go through this little eyelet in the awning here. And this is on the very external extrusion, or the very end extrusion, which is going to swing around to the front of the vehicle. So we're going to pull this front extrusion all the way around to the front of the vehicle, and we've got this hook here that will anchor on the other side of your vehicle. So I'm just going to give this ratchet a little bit of a tug to get some of the slack out, but we don't want to tighten it too much at this stage. So whether or not you want to hook this on your bull bar or your roof rack on the other side, wherever works for you is totally fine. So from this point, we're going to come up underneath our awning again, and we're going to be releasing these rear extrusions, which are anchored in by another couple of Velcro, or 2 Velcro straps here. So where are we? There we go. We're going to loosen those ones down. And actually, whilst I've got the ladder right here, I'm going to hook this ratchet strap that I have set out already in advance. Now that's going to go on the very end extrusion, which is the first one that will pop out here, and again hooking it through that little eyelet tab on the end of that extrusion arm. So from here I'm going to be dragging this arm out. So this central piece of canvas here of your awning is sort of folded up and over that extrusion, so you just want to make sure that you're being mindful of that when you're pulling your rear arms out, and it's not catching on the canvas or putting any extra stress on it. And we're going to swing this one all the way around to the back. And we're going to do exactly the same with this other ratchet strap. I'm just going to hook it on my wheel for convenience, but again, your awning, not your awning, sorry, your roof racks or something like that where the tension's being pulled evenly around would be ideal. So from this point here, we've got that awning fully out. We've got our ratchet straps pretty much anchoring it in place, and we can check for tensions now. So that's when we can start to tighten up our ratchet straps. So that is it for setting up the Outbound Shield 6 awning. There's nothing else required here. It is a true freestanding awning, meaning no poles, no guy ropes, not required. Supa Peg have tested this one up to 30 knots an hour, which I believe is around about 50 kilometers an hour. That does also come with, as I showed you earlier, a couple of guy ropes and big webbing anchor straps. So recently the Snowies crew was at ACOF and we did experience a tropical storm with the awning set out. It had gusts of wind between 60 and 70 kilometers an hour. We had no poles, but we did have these webbing straps set up, and the awning went through the night totally fine throughout a tropical storm. So there are on the ends of each extrusions, as I'll show you here, these webbing straps with little eyelets in them. So you'll find them on the central 4 extrusion arms here, because the 2 ones on the end are already taken up with ratchet straps, which are securing those arms in place. So what I'll do is I'll set up one of these webbing straps for you here so you can see. Use my little step up and pop the hook through that eyelet section. Now on the other end, we've got a strip that has a little D-shackle, which your peg is going to go through. And we've got this clasp here, which will allow us to adjust the tension. So from here, we can just give that strap a bit of a tighten, which puts a little bit of tension on and holds that extrusion in place. So if you are experiencing a bit of wind, or your awning's flapping around a little bit, or you just want to give it a little bit of extra support, you can do that, and that extrusion is sort of not going to be flapping around, moving around too much, or going anywhere. So from here, the next piece to show you with setup and pack away, if you need it, is your tracer spring and your guy rope. So if you want to just use your guy ropes on their own, you can. If you want to add a tracer spring, you've got them on hand to do that as well. So that's very handy. So in my particular situation with that recent storm that we had, we set the tracer springs and the guy ropes up together. So these ones are already good to go. So on each facing of the awning, or sort of flat section on the outward edge, we have a small webbing loop which will be right in the middle of that straight edged facing. So it's up on the top of the awning here, which you can see, very heavy duty little webbing loop. So this is here to help put some tension on the canvas, as well as being able to create a run point for rain. So with this particular guy rope, I'm going to put that little metal hoop through that webbing nice and securely there. And from this other end, once I get all that bit of guy rope untangled, we'll grab a peg and a hammer and peg this one down. So from here, we can adjust our little guy rope tension toggle as required to get the right amount of pull or drag on that awning. There's no real need or requirement for you to be using either of those straps. If you're experiencing weather that's sort of getting close to that 30 knot, 50 kilometers per hour, or you're having some strong gusts, then the webbing straps are going to be what you go to support your awning. If you're having some light rain and you're not having to deal with wind, then potentially just these little guy rope combos to help the rain run off the top of the awning is going to be all you need. If you're having a bit of a combination of both, then obviously you can set up both of those guy ropes just to give that awning a bit of additional support. So that's about it for how to set up your Supa Peg Outbound Shield 6 awning. Now I'm going to show you how to pack it away. So the first thing you're going to want to do with pack up is remove all your guy ropes and your anchor straps, and also obviously poles and things like that if you're going to use them. So I'll leave that peg there to remove later, because I think it's going to be a bit of a tough one. So with your webbing straps, you can just do a nice quick release on that buckle to get rid of any tension, and then they'll come away from the awning and the peg pretty easily. But make sure you clip these back together so they don't get jumbled up. Now I'm just gonna head to the first ratchet strap over here, and I'm going to release the tension on this one just by pushing up on this little silver tab. Now I don't want to release it too much, but just a little bit for now. And then I'm going to go back around to the rear tensioning strap and do the same on the rear ratchet, but we'll release it fully and unhook it. But I'm going to keep it attached because I like to use it as a bit of a tether, especially on mine where I can't quite reach up to the webbing handle strap. And I'm going to just walk it around. And as I am closing up my awning, I like to grab sort of each of the individual sections and just give them a bit of a shake to get rid of any sort of leaf or twigs or debris that may have settled on the top of the awning, like so. Now from here, I'm going to grab my little step ladder and bring this in because I want a bit more height for this, this part of the pack up. So the main chunk of canvas fabric that we've got here, which I'll give a bit more of a shake to as well, we're going to want these rear extrusions to be tucking up underneath this middle section or main section of canvas here. So I will lift that up, sort of get up on my step ladder and pull those extrusions in and flip that canvas over the top there, like so. And as we do that, you can see we've got a nice beautiful tuck here across the front of the canvas section. So if you come around here and have a look, we've got the ends of the back extrusions here. Now they're going to go back in. I might actually ditch this ratchet while I'm here. They're going to go back up into a bundle here, which I'm going to secure with the hook and loop. I like to sort of push it up a little bit and give it a bit of a lift to tuck it all in. Not too much though, obviously, but just enough there to hold it all in place. And oh, there we go. Now we're going to hop down and release the ratchet on the front arm extrusion there. Unhook it from the back, so we don't need to worry about the ratchet too much because we've already released that tension earlier. And we're going to walk these extrusions in again and doing the same thing, just giving it a bit of a shake for any debris there, and the same here. So as we swing this extrusion around, you'll see that all the canvas just really nicely sort of folds in on itself, like origami, I guess, in some beautiful big folds there. So I will just unhook this strap. What I'm going to do from now is tuck up the canvas. So I like to start with this flap because it's just sort of like a bit of a lone ranger on the end here. And I sort of like to tuck up that first bit, fold it in half, and then up into quarters, like so. And then you're just going to do the same thing with the rest of the canvas. So sort of tuck it up into a bit of a half and then fold it up again into quarters. And once we sort of get to this point here, just grabbing the top of the canvas like this and pulling it up over just tucks all your extrusions in and makes your sort of packed up awning just this really nice, neat little bundle here. So I'm getting my Velcro strap. That's just basically the closest one to me. And I'm going to feed that through the D-loop like so. And then give that a nice big tight pull and anchor in place. So once your first Velcro strap is on, you don't need to stress. The awning's not going to fall down. There's not going to be little bits and pieces going everywhere. So you can just work along now and tuck in each of your remaining 3 Velcro straps. So your D-loops and the Velcro straps are really, really strong. Like I'm heaving quite a lot of weight into that strap. It's almost sort of taking my whole body weight here as well, leaning back off that. So they're definitely not going to tear or fail anytime soon as well. So that's super good quality anchor points there. Flip the bag over from that hinge point, just making sure you've got that nice sort of box shape there over the top of the awning. So I'll do that with the other side and we'll do the zip up. Now on this last little section, I'm going to pull the zip from the top on the side here all the way underneath. So both of my zip sliders are sitting underneath the bag at the base. Just gives that extra bit of protection for any water ingress with the rain if the zip sliders were up the top on the side there. So that's the Outbound Shield all packed up. All we need to do now is bundle up our accessories and stash them in the bag. The bag doesn't fit into obviously the big awning bag on top of the car, but I like to keep it in just a little nook inside of the van there. Now, speaking of the van, it's actually around about 2.3, 2.4 meters high. I'm 5'7", so around about 171. So there's obviously quite a bit of a height discrepancy there. The fact that this awning is truly freestanding and doesn't require poles is why I chose it for my vehicle, because it does suit that height. Your normal vehicles are obviously going to be a lot shorter, and on average, I'm assuming people setting up awnings might be a little bit taller than me. So the step ladder is not going to be something you have to worry about. So that's how to set up and pack away the Outbound Shield 6 freestanding awning. It is a super easy one-person job. There's loads of room in the bag, and as I've already mentioned, it's a true freestanding awning. You can get this at snowies.com.au at our lowest prices every day.